and welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy and I'm here with a pick a card reading for you. And today's pick a card topic is all about June 2025 and what you can expect in the month of June when it comes to your love life. So maybe you're seeing someone or you're just talking to someone and you want to know how it will evolve in June or where your connection is headed in the month of June. We do have 3 piles to choose from today. Pile number 1 with the Fountain. Pile number 2 with the Fallen. And pile number 3 with the Flame. And this is coming from the Food Fortunes Tarot, so it doesn't necessarily follow the traditional Rider-Waite number system. But whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there could be a message waiting today from Spirit, and my timestamps are always listed below. Of course, I want to take a moment to welcome back my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you so much for your presence here. Thank you to anyone else who has subscribed today or who has stumbled across the channel for the very first time. Please consider joining our beautiful soul family here today if you do like this content. It does help me to bring you more content when you like and share this video. But for today's topic, we are looking at June 2025 in love. What can you expect? Pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3, and I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the Fountain drink, and this is your reading. What can you expect in June of 2025 in love? And this too, see the little teardrop up top. This is the Two of Cups associated with this deck. So this is a really good sign that perhaps there is a relationship that is forming or just beginning its phases in the month of June 2021. You know, it looks like a fountain drink from a fast food restaurant. So maybe we are, keeping it light, keeping it casual at first in this month, but let's take a look and see. For pile number 1, please, what can they expect in their love life in June 2025? Now, normally my timestamps, or normally my readings rather, are timeless, but in this case we are specifying June 2025. We have the 10 of Cups coming through here first. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Hermit. We have the 4 of Coins. Back of the deck, we do have the 6 of Cups, and we have the Death energy coming out here as well. There's the Page of Wands. Now we're going to clarify this as we go forward. Four of Swords. Now I do feel, I'm getting the impression that for June, you may already be involved with someone, you may already be seeing someone casually, and you're wanting to be very clear about expectations or about where it's headed. I feel like there's a really strong connection here that you feel really intensely with this 6 of Cups, but we're at this precipice where you're starting to feel more emotionally attached to this person, and maybe you want to know if they are also feeling that attachment to you. Here's the 10 of Cups. Now we have the 10 of Cups upright. We have the 10 of Cups starting our reading with it in a reversal. And this can sometimes speak to like a lack of clarity that you may feel is present in June of 2025 in your love life. Because Spirit's now asking me to look into the future and asking me to see that the clarity is coming for you, but it may not show up for you in exactly by the end of the month in June. Here's the 9 of Pentacles, because I still feel like we haven't solidified ownership over each other, or we haven't put a title on ourselves in the month of June and maybe leading up to June up to this point. And so you feel this frustration maybe in a delay, and you're still feeling like you have to claim an independence, or that there's still a title of independence on you, and maybe you don't want that title anymore. Maybe you want the title of girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Now this 9 of Pentacles, you'll notice at the very bottom of this card, this snail that runs across the bottom, which does indicate timing, could be a factor for us in getting to the position that we want. But Spirit says that not everything is black and white the way that we might emotionally perceive it in June in this connection. And now for some reason they're showing me Popeye. and he's singing the song, I'm strong to the finish because I eat my spinach. And he's bought by the sailor man. And this is highlighting to me that there's more to come, to be strong to the finish, be strong to, especially through the month of June in this connection, because I feel like the answers that you're looking for are really coming. Here is the Ace of Pentacles. Back of the deck, we have the Three of Wands, and there's the Four of Wands. I do feel like the month of June is going to feel like a triggering month, but it can trigger us in positive ways if we let it, or we can allow it to trigger us in negative ways. Again, maybe with this fountain drink, it feels too casual. We want to know where we're going and how we're going to get there in this connection. And Spirit says, although the month of June may not offer you the full clarity, this month is off providing you with the opportunity to tame your fears and any reactions or, again, triggers that you receive as you feel like you're waiting for something in June. Because the offer that you're looking for, or the clarity that you're looking for, I feel like it's coming in a little bit beyond June 2025, but it's still coming within this next 3 months. So you may find that even by end of summer, beginning of fall, September, that you're going to feel really secure about where you're headed, or you'll have a more clear direction of where this connection's headed at that time. I do feel like you're in the connection, you just don't feel like you've been claimed or that you can claim the connection as your own. But Spirit says there's a strong momentum that's still leading you to opportunities. This is just asking you to step outside of a comfort zone. And in this case, the comfort zone could be fear. It's like we have natural habits of where we allow our energy to surrender to when we feel challenged by our expectations not being 100% matched. And they're just asking us to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So although the clarity that we may hope for is coming, isn't going to be completely available to us by the end of June, I still feel like there's a major shift and change that's coming here. And they're just asking us to kind of adopt the mentality of this Page of Wands and just allow ourselves to explore. You can see how the page now has their hand on their hip, right? And the hand on the hip for me is the symbol of waiting and feeling irritable by that weight. But Spirit says it can be a lot of fun to just explore this in a state of independence. And they also want to remind us that it's not just this person that's making decisions about the future of this connection. You're also making observations that are going to help you make those choices yourself. We have here finding a balance with the full moon. And know your worth. This is it's like there's a feeling about wanting rigid control or rigid answers coming in, and they're asking us to allow ourselves to release the control that we feel like we have to have in this moment. And despite the lack of potentially all the clarity that we need, the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles is still somebody who sits completely in their worth, who knows that they have a lot to offer, who doesn't compromise, who doesn't feel like they have to chase because they are natural attractants. And I feel like this person is very attracted to you. So you could still have questions about where the connection is going, but they're really encouraging playfulness for the month of June. Yeah, there's no place like home. You can see that the home is being dangled above something. There's no foundation of it yet, but we're making room for that growth. And I will say here that they are highlighting for someone in the next 12 months, this connection could evolve enough that there could be somebody moving in, for instance. There's just opportunities within movement. And they are saying that for some watching as well, that move might be necessary within this next year or so because you're living at separate locations or you're living in separate cities at this time. And of course, that's not going to resonate for everyone. But if it does resonate for you, you will know that that's your message. What to expect in love in 2025 in June, please. We have here firecracker, excitement. We have here an exciting event. I do feel like you will be spending a significant amount of time with this person. I just think you're going to be disappointed with your expectations not being met with their actions. And I don't think that they're doing anything to disappoint you other than not clarifying exactly where they think it's going. Right this moment, they're exploring. It says there's a lot of concern for sexual matters, but the rabbit encourages us to explore because we have guaranteed success. Back of the deck, we also have May, and this is when I'm recording this in the month of May. So they're referencing that even though we may not see the success come in May, and we may actually not see it come in by the tail end of June, the way that we would define it, Spirit does feel like there's a lot of potential for the future of this connection, and they do see a lot of movement over the next 3 months in this connection as well. They also just showed me someone who had to have a tooth extracted, and that's just for someone specific that you'll know that this is your message. Here is the Fool. The Fool is kind of teetering on a reversal at this moment. Here's the Eight of Cups. There's the Lovers reversed. Now, the Lovers in the reverse position is like worrying that I'm making a mistake, or fear that I'm repeating past mistakes, or not seeing everything completely clearly, because the Lovers is ruled by Gemini, the twins, and we can see things from so many different angles. And so we don't see everything that's happening below the surface when the Lovers is reversed. That's why we could feel dissatisfied with what we perceive in the month of June. But that's just truly a symbol of their unreadiness, and maybe even our unreadiness to clear out this emotional reaction to situations and triggers like these. So there's just a lack of readiness that's going to impact us in the month of June of 2025. The Spirit says if we can get over this hump, they say the worst is actually over when it comes to the weight that we feel like we're experiencing in this connection. And actually, they do feel a lot of empowerment in this connection that's possible in the future as well. We have here increasing our efforts if we want to achieve our goals. I do feel like there's like a monopoly. They're literally showing me the monopoly shoe of the two of you spending time together. We have Leo. It's like we're going to get some of what we want. We still have lots of potential with the acorn. And they just use the term vacation and like the term cottage. So that could be meaning something to you as well. We do have the rib cage reversed, and that's the Eight of Swords reversed for me. And it's about liberation, liberating ourselves from limiting thoughts and fears. That's the opportunity we have here. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Please drop your comment below for your chance to win a free reading with me. And I did forget to mention that in my intro, that as a thank you for your presence here, I do offer a chance to win a free tarot reading, and I do notify you in the comment section beneath your comment. I will give you clear directions on how to reach out to me if you're chosen the winner, and I would never send unsolicited DMs to anyone. So be sure to protect yourself from people who could be posing as the Tarot Cottage, but also be sure to drop your comment below if you would like to be entered in for a chance to win a free reading. I would love to read for you. But I hope that you come back here at the Tarot Cottage, or come back to the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Fallen, and this is your reading. What can you expect in June of 2025 in love? Now, the Fallen here always reminds me of the devil. There's the temptation of the apple. We have the snake running up the apple tree on one side. And so there's this reference to temptation and something that's really attractive to us, but sometimes it can be something that's not necessarily good for us as well with the devil. But sometimes we can't help it. The heart wants what the heart wants. We talk about the Fallen, so maybe someone that we know isn't necessarily in alignment with us, but we have a lot of physical attraction towards them. So we'll see what this represents for you, pile number 2. I am using the Alice in Wonderland Tarot. What to expect in June 2025 in love. A lot of Capricorn energy coming through. The apple can also be a symbol of education. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Two of Swords. The Emperor with the Hermit. A lot of Virgo, a lot of Aries coming through. We have Temptation here with the Devil. And we have the pair, the Lovers. Back of the deck is the beautiful Empress. We also have here the Seven of Pentacles. Let's clarify this as we go forward. Justice. The King of Swords. We have the Four of Cups. The Magician. The Judgment. Back of the deck we have the Strength, and we have the Six of Pentacles. And I do feel like something tests your strength a little bit here in the month of June. It almost feels for someone watching that you might have a choice between parties in the month of June. And I feel like there's a very clear choice between who's better for you emotionally and who maybe you're more physically drawn to. There's like this energy of the quiet hermit that a little bit retreats, a little bit shyer. And then we have this temptation coming in here. We have the Fallen as your choice. And there's a lot of communication, somebody who's taking a bold choice or making a bold move towards you here with the Magician. And you can see it says temptation. Somebody who's trying to lure you away from an attraction, perhaps, lure you away towards an opportunity. And I can't deny that there's a feeling about like compromise. It's like compromising an opportunity with another person. But I think the heart wants what the heart wants here. There's something disarming about this attraction that comes forward, that even though maybe we know that there's a clear path that would be healthier for us to take, we can't help it. It's like we really want to explore it. In the future here with the Lovers and the Judgment, we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They both have a flag on their head. And you have these two, they're both wearing these huge bow ties, which are a symbol of thinking really highly of each other. So two people that are very mutually attracted to each other, but perhaps make, it's like they make poor choices, or we make poor choices when we're influenced by each other as well. Because there's a lot to like unpack by the end of the month, even when it comes to decisions and choices. And Spirit does encourage you not to lower your standards. And sometimes this temptation of this devil, it will encourage us to, again, step away from something that's healthy for us, or there's something tempting about it. But even in that story of Alice in Wonderland, this walrus ended up tempting those little clams to their demise, right? So there is a temptation quotient about this. I feel like the person that's coming forward for you in June has been inconsistent with the clarity when it comes to you. And I feel like there's like a desire to know more anyway that starts off the month. It's like, I'm not sure how this person feels about me, but I'm really attracted to them and I want them to be attracted to me. So when they come in June, it's hard to not give in to that temptation and to be lured into something maybe even very physical, very sexual in the month of June. There's just a powerful crossroads here. And they say that by the end of June, you won't have any questions as to whether or not this person is physically drawn to you, because they're very physically drawn to you. You could still have some questions about emotional attachment here. And they're actually saying that this person comes forward because they themselves, they're giving you some type of clarification, some type of justification in your attraction, but they're seeking that out themselves as well. Like they're trying to seek self-confirmation by giving in to something that's very, very tempting. But they are talking about you potentially ignoring another person that you could be currently talking to. And I don't think that you're going to ghost them or anything, but I do feel like a retreat from a connection where, and I almost want to feel like this person's very different than the person coming forward, because they're almost like a quieter person, or it's like they're showing them like a puppy dog that follows somebody around. They're a little bit more passive, a little bit more quiet. They're not as bold in their actions. So it's like they're almost easily overlooked in comparison to this temptation. And it feels like, the month of June, we may give into that temptation. We may give into the desire here, because the heart wants what the heart wants. And there's something, I keep hearing off with their head with the Empress here as well. But I think that they're referring to both yourself and this person coming forward here. They are saying that like logic takes a back seat when it comes to this attraction because there's so much physical attraction. And it's like part of you really wants to manifest this. They're showing me orange juice for some reason as well. And now they're showing like, you know, there's something refreshing about orange juice. It can be a little tart, and they're showing like the peel squirting me in the eye. We have Treasure Island. We have the Nine of Cups. Now, I always think of the Nine of Cups with this card because of desires and wishes and hopes. There's also a reference to not trying to force something to happen. But we have the Yang coming out. We have the Divine Masculine coming forward to exchange gifts with you. They say that it may create a risk or a temptation for the Divine Feminine, because I feel like you have a... They're talking about having wishful thinking or a crush on this person anyway. So you feel very justified with the attention that they give you in June of 2025. But they also say that it could open up Pandora's box a little bit. And they're saying that there's something, there's a repetition or there's a history, or it's like this person's a creature of habit. So they may not be ready for commitment cycles beyond the physical attention that they offer you in 2025 June. Because even by the end of the month, I still feel like you are weighing your options in love. And they encourage you in that decision to make sure that you aren't lowering your standards and that you're not making decisions just based off of your own fear of rejection. Because they don't necessarily feel like this person that's coming forward in June, they're not in it for commitment cycles at this time. That could evolve and that could change. We have the February being significant. I often think of Pisces energy. We have someone you know is independent and insincere. We have recognition and reward for merit. So there's plenty of material things, plenty of physical attraction, but they don't necessarily feel like this person is ready for relationships beyond June as well. But we have news on the way. Communication is coming in. They are highlighting something significant happening in September in this connection or in your love life overall as well. That could be when you really solidify choices and decisions. We have getting together with friends. Back of the deck does say an exciting event. It could be something very physical as well. Again, I feel like there's this desire to explore this path for you in June of 2025. And you might need to explore this path in order to be completely sure about which path you want to explore. We have go for it, taking that leap of faith, manifesting something new. It says the new moon in Aries. There's also a lot of Libra here, a lot of Aries energy coming through. Lots of Capricorn, Gemini energy. We have release your blocks. And we also have here on the back of the deck, trust that all will be well, the new moon in Virgo. They're also highlighting believing in luck and believing in something new, again, popping up unexpectedly for you. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 2, please, for the month of June 2025 in love. They say that June's going to just bring in for you, again, alternate paths and options. And it's really asking you to truly unpack old investments, because you may have already invested in communicating with a different person, for instance. There's going to be a little overlap. So they don't feel like relationships will form out of this in the month of June. They just see this alternate path as an option being available to us. Now, the Empress is reversed now in the bowl, which means that she's not feeling very abundant. Maybe she's feeling insecure. That following this path is not perhaps a guaranteed success. It doesn't guarantee us success towards a relationship necessarily, but it might be something that boosts your own ego or boosts your confidence. Because it's something that Even if it's not necessarily good for you, you still want it. It's still an affirmation. We have the letter Z. We have a lot of dreams coming through for you. Could be fantasies coming through. We have weakness is a choice, and we did choose the Fallen card, so we may give into that weakness. This person could be a weakness for us. We have the unique unicorn. We have the, looks like the galloping horse, and we have the double-edged razor. We also have ing, which is for me an action word, so somebody who's taking action towards us, and perhaps us being very reciprocal in our actions in return. But it could push us up against a rock and a hard place when it comes to choices and decisions in our relationships moving forward. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Please drop your comment below for a chance to win a reading with me, but also so we can get words of encouragement back to you. Even if you have to come back after June to leave your message, I would love to hear how your month went. Of course, you can check out my private readings or my personal links down below for Etsy. I do update that shop every single day, and I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the Flame card, the Sun, and this is your reading. What can you expect in June of 2025 in love? Now, the Flame card here, it's sriracha sauce, and it's the Sun as well, and this speaks of clarity. Perhaps even clarity in action. So somebody could be taking very passionate action towards you, perhaps, and that could be providing the very clarity you've been looking for in this connection on your mind. So let's take a look here. It's also a very abundant card. It's wonderful to be drawn to the Sun. It shows optimism. It shows expectation. We have the chili pepper on the top, which means you're exploring something in a passionate way. And it could be building a foundation for something more. A lot of Leo energy coming through. What can pile 3 expect in June of 2025 in love, please? We have the Page of Wands. We're going to put it upright even though he's a bit sideways. We have Toucan Sam following his nose. We have the Lovers. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Hierophant. We have the Knight of Cups coming sideways along with the Temperance. Back of the deck we have the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. Oh my goodness, there's a really powerful message that's coming through for you, pile 3. We have a lot of Virgo here, a lot of Taurus coming through, a lot of Gemini coming through as well. Now, they're really advocating because Spirit's always going to meet us where we are, and they're going to try to give us a roadmap to get us where we want to be. And they feel like you have your eye on someone, and someone may have their eye on you. And I feel like there's been complacency, and maybe you're waiting to figure things out. Maybe you're waiting for them to take really strong action towards you, perhaps. And maybe you've been waiting. And even that could be why the Page came out sideways, because you can see he's investigating closely, but maybe he has to investigate closely because he's been kept in limbo and waiting. You'll notice that the Hermit, you can see that she's a mermaid, but she is fishing, and we have these 2 ships passing in the night. And so there's a feeling about grounding ourselves to the reality of what is and the reality of where we want to be. The Knight of Swords in the center of your reading is a call to action, if I'm honest. And then we have this Knight of Cups sitting in limbo because it takes a lot to call. It takes a lot to step up and lead. She's carrying a little paintbrush, which is about creative accountability. And on her dress, it says, is the right worth the cost? And the cost, perhaps, is the risk that we take when we speak our truth or we take some sort of action towards another person. That could be why the action that they feel like is going to be taken in June, or that they're advising is going to be taken in June, is going to be very physical. Because when we physically act, it's like we're trying to emotionally detach from the emotional prompt. It's like we're still trying to protect that heart space. It's like it's easier to maybe lean in for the kiss than it is to emotionally say, hey, I really like you. Because they do feel like this person's being complacent, and they may be complacent in June of 2025. And given that information, we have a couple of options on how we want to accept or absorb that truth. You can see that it's Alice that's out on a limb. So we can refer to her as the divine feminine, but it's all about energy. It has nothing to do with gender. So you can be masculine and still be considered Alice on that branch. But the Hierophant talks about ascension that is possible with two people that go towards each other equally, or one person that tips the scales in the right direction. They're talking about investigating further. Here's the Three of Cups, because this Three of Cups can represent friendship or maybe a connection that's been a little loosey-goosey. We don't really know where it is in this moment. We know that we're comparing this person to other people. We know that we want to continue to explore it. We know that this is maybe somebody very different that we're exploring, and it's exciting, and this is a lot of fun. And this is how the month of June is going to go for you. We're still going to be spending time together. There's still going to be blurred lines. Even if no action is taken, we're still going to be spending that time, and we can still have a lot of fun together in the month of June with no definition and with no admissions. We can still have that. It's still very abundant. The sun is always abundant, but Spirit's curious about grounding ourselves to the truth and whether or not we're ready to take an action. And they say that, is it worth the cost? That's what we're asking ourselves. It's like, is it worth it for me to take action or say something? Sometimes the Knight of Swords rushes forward with what they think to be true, which is, I could get rejected. It might not be mutual. Here's the Six of Swords, because this connection, the clarity between the two of you needs a little help, needs a little push, a little boost in the right direction. The person on your mind is not going to offer it perhaps in June. Again, it's not that we're not going to be spending time together. It's not that there's not going to be flirtation between us. And they feel like it is worth the cost because they think that it'll bring in more confidence. It'll bring in more clarity overall. It's like if we're waiting for the perfect moment to execute and we're waiting for maybe strength or confidence or courage, we might be waiting. This person might be waiting. But especially when we have the sixes as a collaboration or as a support card to our answer, this means that sometimes your confidence needs a little bit of a boost and theirs does collaboratively to create change. The clarity needs a little bit of a push off that shore as well. And if we investigate this closely, if we do take a leap of faith, we might be very happy with the results. This person's logical argument, they could be the Gemini, but their logical argument, and I'm putting quotation marks around that, is that you don't even see them like that, or they're going to get a rejection. But they need a new outlook, which means they may need new information to create that outlook. You'll notice that the Knight of Cups is in a state of limbo. It's sitting on this big, beautiful flower. I think of compassion when I see the lotus like that. And this girl is holding a vulnerable heart in her hands. It could be her own heart. And even the Temperance has a parasol over top of it, which means that sometimes our vulnerable heart is like, we don't want to know the answer, whether it's good or bad, at least not yet, because what if it's bad? So we sometimes delay, and we can do that. We can choose to delay the action that we feel called to take to create change. We can delay the physical action that we take towards this person. They say that June has the potential for two ships to pass in the night and not to make an impact, but it also has the potential to make a huge impact. And if that, again, that's why this was sitting in a state of limbo, because if we decide to move it out of limbo and explore it and follow the inclination and follow the attraction, what we find may be wonderful, may be very surprising. And they're highlighting now sriracha and how it burns, but there's a sweetness to it too. So even though the burn could be ripping the Band-Aid off of the truth, but there could be a sweet finish. You can see there's even a chicken, a rooster on the bottle as well. Ten of Cups, there's the Nine of Pentacles. They are saying here that the truth is that even when it comes to delays, they do feel like the worst is behind you when it comes to delays. They're not going to force you to be vulnerable. They're not going to force you to express yourself or to create the clarity, but they are saying that you might be happy that you did. Here at the Nine of Pentacles. This shows satisfaction in the effort that I've taken and the position that I've achieved because of it. Again, even if it takes us some time and we feel distracted in June, I still see the two of you spending a lot of time together, and the potential and the doorway and the opportunities will be there for the two of you to be expressive in some way. And I don't feel like the expression will come in like an auditory way. I feel like the expression could come in a very physical way, a physical touch that can change so much in the connection. But there's so much potential for the future of this relationship. I feel like there's so much mutual attraction, and I feel like honestly even the mutual overthinking is right in alignment. The both of you are worried about the exact same thing, worried about the exact same challenges, the exact same rejections. And Spirit says, I keep hearing that Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. In this case, they're saying all you need is clarity. It's like we need to stop worrying about what the other person is actually thinking and start worrying about what we want to express. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type or expectations. And keep an open mind as far as whose responsibility it is to create the clarity and the confidence. We have make the effort. Great love is worth the steps we're guided to take, because this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. And that's why they're encouraging that vulnerability with that vulnerable heart. Either way, I feel like you're going to have a great month. We have peace coming in. It did come in the reversal. I don't often read these out in the reversal. They're talking about incubating opportunities here and now. Not incubating our own peace and our own security, but incubating potential. And in a way, we're actually then incubating our own confidence. We have a loyal heart. And we have all that glitters, which is encouraging us to take our mask off. It could lead to epiphanies and it could lead to permanent changes in this connection, but that could be exactly where we want it to go, to complete permanent changes, moving from uncertainty into deep, deep, loyal connections. I also feel like, again, there's a mirror, there's a mutual aspect to the attraction and even to the loyalty of your hearts, but also the loyalty that you show towards your own lack of confidence is also very paralleled here. So they are encouraging us to take off masks in the month of June 2025 and take the inspiration as it comes. If it's us that's being encouraged to speak the truth, we may feel called to express ourselves and take creative accountability of where this connection is going. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Nine of Swords reversed. Spirit says, stop worrying. There's the Empress. Don't you remember who you are? It's like we've intentionally held back. I feel like this person's intentionally held back, not to be cold or cruel about it, but to keep themselves safe because they themselves are also operating off of that Nine of Swords. But now they're asking you to kind of apply a freedom to that. They say that you're driving yourself crazy. We have the Queen of Swords. I think of the Queen of Swords with this stone, and she's all about authority and taking on leadership. We have MG and the Rose Head of Empowerment. And the Rose Head has absolutely no stem and no thorns. So Spirit says maybe you don't need to worry about those thorns. We have Police. We also have here Pisces energy and the fear of loss. We also have a little fawn. So I do think of children or someone who's emotionally ill-equipped or doesn't have a lot of experience. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. If it resonates, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personalized reading, and that link is below and gets updated daily. But please come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.